So Don Lemon is at it again. We all know that Don Lemon is well known for making stupid statements, just like he did regarding the missing plane in 2014.
What if it was hijacking or terrorism or mechanical failure or pilot error? But what if it was something fully that we don't really understand? A lot of people have been asking about that, about black holes and on and on and on and all of these conspiracy theories. Let's look at this. Noah says, what else can you think about? Black hole, Bermuda Triangle. And then Deji says, just like the movie Lost. And of course, they're also referencing the Twilight Zone, which is a very similar plot. That's what people are saying. I know it's preposterous, but is it preposterous, you think, Mary?
Now, he almost had it. He almost had it with those statements there, because he was like, these are ideas that people are having. I know they're preposterous, but are they preposterous? Yes, Don. They're preposterous ideas. But what is he doing here in this video? Before I tell you what he's talking about here, this is from End Wokeness. This is a X or Twitter account that I follow. And they always have a lot of really good stuff to say. I don't know how many people are in charge of End Wokeness, but they're always coming up with something great. So they're worth subscribing to if you're not subscribed to them on Twitter. But Don Lemon is going on here about how how white people are the biggest cause of terror, the biggest terrorist group in the United States. Let's take a look and see what he has to say.
So this, I mean, it's kind of an obnoxious Twitter handle, but it's End Wokeness. Tweeted something that said, the biggest threat to America is white men. And you said this was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
And then they put that right next to you
and my husband,
with your husband, who happens to be a white man.
All right. Well, it's kind of weird that you would say the quote here from Don Lemon in 2018, white men are the biggest terror threat in this country. And then he marries a white man. Okay, that is kind of hypocritical of you, right? If I were to go out and say my wife's race of people is just the worst ever, and then I'm married to one, that doesn't make any sense, does it?
Walking down some stairs, and then it said like Don Lemon back in whatever year it was.
I'm so glad. Is this a last question? But it doesn't have to be. But I'm glad that you asked me that question, because it
gives you the opportunity to address it.
No, it's not the opportunity to address it. It's, well, yes, but it proves what I said about internet brain and dunking on people and people wanting to sort of have their own biases reconfirmed.
Yeah, I don't know that it's about that, though, in this case, Don. It is about the hypocrisy you've been exhibiting here. You want to say that white people are bad, white men are bad, and yet you married a white man. But it's just the ongoing hypocrisy we see from the progressives.
I said, we were talking in the context of, I think it was around the time that Christopher Wray was testifying in front of Congress, or around that time, and we were talking about terrorism. And the biggest threat was not foreign terrorism, it was domestic terrorism. And that domestic terrorism is done by radicalized right-wing males.
Well, you said what?
Yeah, he's going to say you said white men. Yeah, he didn't say radicalized right-wing males. He said white men. And are those claims accurate? Is it white men that are the biggest terror threat to the United States? I don't know, but make sure you're accurate in when you're saying these things. If you're going to call out an entire race of people.
White men.
I said white men, and I said mostly radicalized to the right.
Again, no, you didn't say radicalized. You said white men.
And then the FBI director said the exact same thing. So I don't understand why people don't understand that.
The way he's talking here, we said, then the FBI director said the exact same thing. The way he said that was like, hey, look, I made this statement, I made this claim, and I was verified. The evidence came out a few weeks later. The FBI agreed with me. That's what it sounds like he's saying to me. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what it sounds like he's saying to me, that he's like, I made this statement. Hey, what do you know? I was right. If that's true, he was making stuff up at the time. It's ridiculous.
I don't get it. I didn't say all white men were the biggest terror threat.
I suppose to a lot of people, now correct me if I'm wrong here, would say that if you flipped that the other way around, that would be like hate speech, that would be this, that would be that. What do you say to
well, I don't know. I think if you mean if there were black men, if black men were creating the were the biggest purveyors of domestic terrorism, then okay.
Yeah, you have that attitude, Don, but most progressives don't. That's the thing. You can say, like, look, the number one cause of urban violence in the United States is black men. And that's probably a factual statement. But this channel right now, well, not the channel, but this video right now could probably be demonetized for that. Probably will be demonetized for me saying that. Because that doesn't support the narrative that white man is bad. And I know that YouTube has taken down videos. I've seen them take down videos of people who were negative of white people in general, just saying that white people are bad, and those videos have disappeared because of the violation of YouTube's terms of service. And I don't go around saying these things like, all black people are this way or all white people are this way or whatever, because I know that it's more based on individual and it's more based on culture than anything that is based on your skin color. So, but we know that Don Lemon is going to make these outrageous claims, outrageous statements, and then we're just supposed to swallow it like it's true and factual. And a lot of people actually agree with the statement that white men are the cause of most terrorism in the United States.
That would be the facts. Those are facts. I don't understand why, especially I do a little, but not as much. I don't hear white women getting upset about that. I don't hear black women or black men.
Well, the reason you don't hear white women getting upset about that is because white women want to sleep with black men.
They all go, yeah, well, that's true. White guys get mad, but it's the truth.
I thought that tweet was a little bit kind of just like clearly trying to slam dunk
Yeah, it was
you.
trying, but it's also like, again, it's gotcha. But
that one was a gotcha. I would agree that one was a gotcha.
But again, it's, hey, I married a white guy because that's who I fell in love with. I did not say all white men were terrorists, but that's what that tweet is trying to.
That's what it sounds like you're saying, though.
Get you to believe. That's what the criticism is. That's what happens in conservative media, because they are what? They want to gin up fear and they want to demonize me. They want to demonize me, one, because they think I'm on the left, two, because I was on CNN, and three, because it's easy to say, look at what this black guy is doing. Obviously, the racism is there because they're saying he married a white guy. And, they want to do it because it's easy. I'm black, I'm gay.
Yeah, but we do this to other people who aren't black and gay. It has nothing to do with your blackness, your gayness. We don't care about that. We care about the hypocrisy. We care about you demonizing an entire race of people and getting away with it. Whereas if I were to do that, I would get in trouble. It would be headlines. My channel would be canceled. I would be canceled, period. I would probably lose my job. Even though I'm allowed to have those thoughts and feelings, it's not illegal to think that way, to feel that way. So, and again, I don't care if Don Lemon feels this way. If you want to feel that way about white people, okay. But the thing is are those feelings founded in reality? Are white people out there trying to harm black people? Not from what I've seen. In the past, okay, yeah. But that's ancient history now. That's long gone.
They think I'm liberal and I was on CNN. Boom. More than a trifecta.
I like how he says they think I'm liberal. You're gay in an interracial relationship with a man. I don't, it doesn't get much more liberal than that, does it? I think that it's pretty well established that you are liberal at this point. And just to hammer this point home, that Don Lemon thinks that he just claims he's not progressive, even though he is, but he's really a progressive. So to hammer that point home, we have this here from Chief Nerd, who is on X. So let's take a listen.
People seem to be backtracking on that now.
What do you mean?
The vax thing, and like how the efficacy of it at the time, and how ivermectin wasn't something that people should be taking, and now Cuomo's out talking about how like, it's actually a good thing, and it was a good thing, but we were told it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? He was just on PBD's podcast talking about that.
Yeah,
And you and him were really kind of like anti, like take the thing, do it. And
well, I was pro or anti. This whole argument about vaccines is a little weird to me, because I think people are Monday morning quarterbacking the idea of vaccines. And
what do you mean by Monday morning?
Because remember, this was a virus that we hadn't seen before. It was it was a once in a lifetime pandemic, and people didn't know. And I think we have to give the people who are in charge, including the Trump administration, a little grace, because no one knew how to deal with this. And I think that our health officials and politicians were doing what they thought was best to save the most amount of people.
See, I'm surprised he actually said that. I'm surprised he actually defended Trump there, because he is a progressive. So that's actually pretty shocking to me. And I mean, I have the same basic opinion that, yeah, we didn't really know what was going on. We did the best we could at the beginning. So let's take a look and see what else he has to say.
To keep people safe and to keep them healthy. Do they make mistakes along the way? Absolutely. But that's life. And so, I think I thought that people should be doing what would, instead of being selfish for themselves, they should be doing, or we should have been doing what was best for our fellow man. I have a relative who...
Well, define what is best for our fellow man. Right? You are pushing the vaccine. You wanted people to take the vaccine. And now it's coming out that hey, there are long-term consequences to taking this vaccine. There are potential lethal consequences to having taken this vaccine. I'm not saying that there weren't lethal consequences to getting COVID, because there were plenty of people who died. I met the guy here in my county who came the closest to dying from COVID. He was in a coma and everything. And he's gone to his doctors and been like, hey, can you get me in touch with people who went through COVID who had as bad as I did? And I can have a support group. And he's like, the doctors are like, no, nobody's had it as bad as you and lived. So I met that guy. In fact, my cousin got COVID and died, 46 years old. So there are people who died from COVID. There are people who appear to be dying from having taken the vaccine. We don't know the answers, but back to what Don Lemon has to say.
Who has a compromised immune system. So whether I believe in wearing a mask or not, around that person, I'm going to wear a mask. I'm not going to be selfish and say, masks are stupid. I'm not going to do it, because I am not selfish. And I love that person. I don't know if the person I'm standing next to in the grocery store, or if I'm in the post office, I don't know if they have a compromised immune system. I have someone who's on my staff who still wears a mask, and someone came in and said, why the f- is she wearing a mask? And I had to tell that person she has lupus. And so if she got anything, a cold or anything, it's going to affect her in a detrimental way. So I think that people who are questioning the use of masks, even in the moment, we're being a bit selfish.
Listening to Como speak and listening to like a lot of what people are talking about now is saying that like they knew that there was other methods that people could have done, like ivermectin was one of them that
I don't
helped.
think they knew that ivermectin was not a COVID.
So I have seen the article, at least one, came out and said, oh, look, we don't have any evidence that ivermectin does anything to COVID. I've seen that article. I have not read the article, but because it doesn't matter. Doctors are prescribing ivermectin to treat COVID. I know this, that they are. My doctor offered that to me. He said, we can give you Paxlovid, or we can give you the cocktail or the different three, but you have to go to 3 different pharmacies to get each one, because California won't let you take that. So my doctor is prescribing it. I'm going to think that he knows that there's some efficacy to it. I don't know why. I don't know what it does, because I'm not a biologist. I'm not a chemist. I am not a doctor, etc. Maybe it doesn't do anything. Maybe it helps secondary symptoms. I don't know what it does. So
Was not meant for COVID, has not been tested for COVID. And so people pushing back on ivermectin, I think it was the right thing to do, because there was no medical evidence that ivermectin could help save people from getting COVID or prevent them from getting COVID or had any effect on the COVID-19 vaccine. So what our health officials, what I believe in medicine, I believe in science, and I believe that my government is looking out for me and trying to do the
your government is not looking out for you. I don't know where you're getting that information from, but the U.S. government is not looking out for the average citizen.
best for me. And if my government is telling me a vaccine that was actually that Donald Trump helped to facilitate, and Donald Trump was not a candidate that I really respected. Yeah. Even with him, I thought that I believe that my government is looking out for me. And so if scientists, if doctors, if virologists are telling me that this vaccine is safe and that ivermectin has no effect on the COVID vaccine, then I'm going to believe
on the COVID
science.
Vaccine or the COVID virus?
Well,
the vaccine.
I'm sorry, not on the vaccine. Yes,
right.
on COVID. And then I'm not going to. Yeah. I'm going to believe in the science, and I'm going to believe in the doctors.
Which is fine, but shouldn't other people have the right to not take the vaccine and not be forced to put something in their body that they didn't want?
Yes, you're an American. You have the right to do that, but
it seemed at the time media was really shaming people of if you didn't get a vaccine, it's your fault.
No, I don't think. Well, I don't know if the media was shaming people. I think what people were saying was, I think people were being selfish about that. If you don't get the vaccine, then don't get the vaccine, but don't expect to be able to do and go places where people who got the vaccine
and make a living, right?
Well, everybody's working from home. People weren't at work.
I mean, you couldn't go to school.
Did you get the vaccine?
No, I didn't get the vaccine.
I didn't get it.
No, I got the vaccine. But if someone in my office didn't want to get the vaccine, then I would tell them to work from home.
Okay. So Don Lemon is out of touch with reality because there were plenty of people who could not work from home. You can't drive a FedEx truck from home. That just doesn't happen, okay, stupid? You cannot work a cash register in a store from home. You cannot be a nurse from home. So there are other jobs which are more essential even than you might say than being a cashier or a truck driver, although truck driving is very essential in the U.S. economy. You just can't do from home. There's plenty of jobs out there that you cannot do from home. I was lucky. Lots of people that I know were lucky. My wife can't work from home. She had to take 2 weeks off. That was all it was in my area. We only had to take off 2 weeks. Now, things were a little different for me. I had to work from home, and I could work from home. But not everybody has that luxury. That's so ridiculous to think that everybody has a luxury. Now, I isolated. I stayed at home as much as I could. I stayed at home. I did go outside, but I didn't go to places where people are. I went out and rode my bike around, tried to stay away from people. and I did wear a mask. And the people out there, Dr. Fauci, come out and say, "Oh yeah, masks didn't work." Okay, well, why do they wear masks in every surgical setting if masks don't work? Okay, if you get the proper mask, a medical grade mask, that reduces the spread of germs. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Otherwise, we wouldn't have masks as a thing in the medical community. It just wouldn't be a thing. All right, let's not be silly about this. So anyway, Don Lemon, and very progressive, likes to say stupid stuff. Good job. You ruined your career. Good luck with everything out there for you. I'm sure you're going to do great. Good thing you got that husband to take care of you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.